If you're a man over 60, you need to harvest the fruit you consume for breakfast. Yes, the one you've always believed was beneficial for your health. Could be the very thing diminishing your erections quickly, consistently, day after day, you might think. You're starting your morning's healthy way. But inside your body, something entirely different is occurring. Blood flow is weakening, testosterone is sinking, and your ability to perform as a man is slipping further away without your awareness. And Dr. Rena Malik, for over 20 years, I've helped men restore their sexual health naturally, and in this video, I'm going to show you how to reclaim what aging and misinformation have attempted to steal because what I'm about to reveal isn't just about fruit. It's about truth, that truth about 7 specific fruits you must avoid in the morning if you want to protect your erections, your energy, and your confidence. You've probably never been cautioned about these fruits. In fact, most men believe they're helping themselves. But science presents a different narrative, and once you grasp what's truly happening, you'll never perceive your breakfast the same way again. So stay with me, because the 5th fruit on this list is in nearly every household, and it's doing more harm than you can imagine. Let's discuss the reality behind your plate and how to reclaim the strength. You were born with bananas, referring to bananas, especially the ripe ones. I'll be honest with you, this one was difficult for me for most of my life. I believe bananas were the perfect breakfast food, quick, easy, packed with potassium. But what I didn't know, and what many men over 60 still don't realize, is that bananas, especially when they're soft and spotted, could be quietly destroying their ability to achieve and maintain rigidity. Here's what is happening under the surface. As bananas ripen, their sugar content increases dramatically. That soft, sweet banana you add to your cereal or smoothie is flooding your bloodstream with fast digesting sugars. And when that occurs first thing in the morning, it triggers a sharp rise in insulin for older men. This is a problem because insulin acts like a hormonal bully. It suppresses testosterone, disrupts nitric oxide production, and inflames the blood vessels your penis relies on for strong erections, so you might believe you're fueling your body. But what you're really doing is starving your performance. The worst part is the damage doesn't appear immediately. It's slow, subtle, perhaps unmemorizing. You don't awaken as rigid, then it happens again. Eventually, you start believing this is simply a consequence of aging, but it's not. It's breakfast. If you absolutely love bananas, here's my advice: never consume them alone, and never on an empty stomach. If you must have one, eat it later in the day and pair it with protein or healthy fat to slow the sugar impact. Otherwise, you're merely setting yourself up for hormonal chaos that your body no longer recovers from, as it used to now. If you thought bananas were problematic, wait until you hear about the next fruit. It's tiny, sweet, and appears innocent enough. But it's one of the worst offenders when it comes to subtly draining blood flow from your manhood. If you're still dealing with getting hard erections, there's a powerful natural solution that's been helping men all over the world. Check out the link in the description. For a doctor-recommended erectile dysfunction remedy that might be just what you need. Grapes were always one of those fruits I used to snack on without a second thought. I'd grab a handful directly from the fridge thinking I was making a smart health choice, and for years I never questioned it. But what I later learned, both as agropest doctor and as a man navigating my 6-0, change how I perceive those little purple snacks forever. Here's the truth: grapes are incredibly high in natural sugars, especially for their size. They may be small, but they're concentrated because they're mostly water and sugar. They digest rapidly. That means when you consume them first thing in the morning on an empty stomach, they enter your bloodstream like a wave, spiking your blood sugar in minutes. And when blood sugar spikes, insulin surges. That's the body's way of attempting to restore balance. But for men our age, that insulin surge does something else to it. Begins to suppress testosterone. It tightens the blood vessels that supply your erection over time. That repeated cycle day after day leads to a slow but steady erosion of your sexual strength. You may not notice it immediately, but one day you'll wonder why your confidence isn't what I choose to be, why your mornings feel flat-wee. You don't respond to stimulation as I once did. And the answer might be sitting in your fruit bowl if you still enjoy grapes. Here's My honest advice: never consume them first thing in the morning, save them for later in the day ideally. After a protein-rich meal when your blood sugar is already stable, is it that way you enjoy them. Without paying the price in the bedroom, but don't go anywhere yet, because next up I something millions of men drink with breakfast every single day, believing it's a healthy start, but in reality, it's one of the biggest hidden threats to your erections. And it's probably in your refrigerator right now. There was a time when a glass of orange juice felt like a perfect way to begin the day. I remember pouring it alongside breakfast, believing I was doing something beneficial for my body. Vitamin C, right? It felt refreshing, light, even energizing, but the truth is that morning ritual wasn't working against me. And if you're a man over 60 still consuming orange juice with breakfast, there's something you need to know. Orange juice isn't the health drink we were led to believe. It's not a piece of fruit. It's sugar in liquid form. In fact, one glass can contain as much sugar as a can of soda. When you drink it on an empty stomach, there's no fiber, no fat, and no protein to slow that sugar down. It instantly enters your bloodstream, causing a sharp blood sugar spike. And with that spike comes a flood of insulin. Now, here's the crucial part. That insulin surge suppresses testosterone production and constricts your blood vessels, including those that supply blood to your penis. Over time, this health morning habit becomes a daily assault on your erection quality. You may feel alert for an hour or two, but by late morning you crash, energy dips, motivation drops, and slowly your sexual response weakens until you start believing it's simplifying, but it's not. It's your breakfast drink. If you genuinely enjoy citrus in the morning, skip the juice and consume a whole orange instead. The fiber will slow absorption and provide you the nutrients with it. The sugar shock, or better yet, start your day with water and wait until after a protein-rich meal to enjoy any fruit at all. Now, what I'm about to reveal next will surprise you even more, because it's a fruit many men believe it actually aids erections. And while that's partially true, when eaten incorrectly, it can subtly sabotage your performance. With warning, now this one hits close watermelon to home. Because like many men, I used to believe watermelon was a superfood for sexual health. I'd heard it contained testosterone, a compound that can help with blood flow. So I'd consume large slices in a hot day, feeling like I was fitting my body. But what I didn't realize, and what most men over 60 don't understand, is that when you eat watermelon incorrectly, especially in the morning or in large quantities, it can subtly work against the very thing you're trying to protect. You see, watermelon is over 90% water, but it's also packed with natural sugars and has a high glycemic load. That means when you consume it on an empty stomach, especially at breakfast, it floods your system with sugar rapidly, and that rapid sugar rush can trigger the same hormonal kind reaction we've discussed before: insulin spikes, testosterone suppression, and reduced nitric oxide. The very circulation you need for strong erections gets interrupted before your day even begins. Even worse, because watermelon digests so quickly it doesn't keep you full. That means you're more likely to crash mid-morning, reaching for more sugar, starting a cycle that deprives you of energy, mood, and confidence. And the worst part, you may never link that gradual decline in your sexual function to a fruit you thought was helping you. If you enjoy watermelon, won't tell you to stop altogether, but consume it sparingly, and never first thing in the morning. Have a few slices after a protein-based lunch when your blood sugar is stable. That's when your body can handle it best without incurring the hidden cost. But if you think watermelon is deceptive, wait until you hear about the next fruit. It's acidic, sweet, and wildly popular, but it may be the most dangerous one yet for your testosterone and long-term erection health. I'll admit it, mangoes are one of my personal favorites. Their juice is sweet and evoke memories of summer mornings. For years, I didn't think twice about slicing one up and enjoying it first thing in the morning. But what I didn't understand at the time was that something so delicious could be quietly working against my body, especially my hormones, my circulation, and yes, my ability to perform as a man. Here's the reality most men don't hear about: mangoes are incredibly high in fructose, type of sugar that goes directly to your liver. Now, when you're young and active, your body might handle that sugar spike without too much trouble, but after 60, when insulin sensitivity decrease and your liver may already be under strain. That same fruit can lead to realproblemed excess fructose from mangoes contributes to fatty liver buildup, which is directly linked to lower testosterone levels and when testosterone drops. So does your ability to achieve and maintain a strong erection. Not only that, but mangoes' sugar content spikes your blood glucose, triggering that no familiar insulin response that further suppresses the very hormones and vascular function you need for healthy intimacy, and because it digests quickly or left hungry again. Soon after setting you up for a roller coaster of energy crashes throughout the day. If you love mangoes as much as I do, here's my advice: treat them like dessert. Enjoy them in small portions after lunch when your blood sugar is stable and you've had protein to buffer the impact, but never eat them alone. In the morning, that's when the damage hits hardest. Know what's coming next. Is one fruit that looks clean, tropical, and refreshing, yet it may be sabotaging your erections faster than all the rest. Especially if you've been eating it thinking it helps sire digestion. Pineapple always felt like a symbol of vitality, bright, tropical, and full of flavor. For years, I believed it was any of the best fruits I could eat, refreshing, loaded with vitamins and great for digestion. But what I didn't realize, and what so many men over 60 still don't know, is that pineapple might be quietly undermining your manhood. It doesn't seem dangerous. That's what makes it so deceptive. Here's the truth: pineapple is extremely high in natural sugar, almost deceptively so. Just 1 cup can deliver more than 16 grams of sugar with very little fiber to slow it down when you eat pineapple first thing in the morning, especially by itself. You're setting off a chain reaction. Blood sugar rises quickly, insulin surges, and within minutes your body is dealing with inflammation, hormonal imbalance, and reduced nitric oxide, the very molecular spindle for creating strong lasting erections. For older men, this response happens faster and hits harder. Your body dose buffer sugar as it used to women's. Even healthy-looking choices like pineapple can cause silent damage over time. You may not feel the effects today, but over weeks, months, and years it takes a toll until one day you realize you're not waking up the same way. Your desire fades, your response weakens. And the link back to pineapple, almost no one sees it. If you enjoy pineapple, consume it after lunch or dinner when your body is more prepared to handle the sugar. Never eat it on an empty stomach, and never make it breakfast staple. Now, what I'm about to share next might shock you even more, because the final fruit on this list doesn't even look harmful. In fact, it's mild dried and often marketed as actually a nutritious snack. But for men over 60, it could be one of the worst things you put in your body. If there's one group of fruits that deceived me for years, it's dried fruit, raisins, dates, apricots. They always seemed like smarter choice. They were small, easy to carry, and labeled as natural snacks packed with fiber and nutrients. I used to toss a handful into my oatmeal or munch on them with my coffee, thinking I was doing something good for my body. Beauty I learned more both as a doctor and as a man navigating this state of life. I realized that these innocent little fruits might be causing real damage. Where it matters most, the truth is dried fruit is nothing more than concentrated sugar in disguise. Once the water is removed, all that's left is a dense hit of fructose with very little fiber to slow the absorption. Your body processes it like candy, especially when eaten first thing in the morning. And for men over 60, that quick sugar rush kicks off a cascade. Insulin spikes, inflammation raises, testosterone dips, and blood flow tightens. You might not feel it right away, but if you've noticed your morning erections becoming weaker or less frequent, this might be one of the hidden reasons why. The problem is dried fruit is sneaky. It feels healthy. It feels slight, but when you eat it alone, especially on an empty stomach, your body responds as if you've just eaten a sugary dessert. If you still want to enjoy dried fruit, keep it minimal and eat it after a balanced meal with protein and fat, and never as a standalone breakfast item. Now we've discussed what not to eat, but what if I told you there are actually a few fruits that can do the exact opposite? Fruits that support testosterone, boost nitric oxide, and even help rebuild your erection strength naturally. Take a look at those next. I know this might feel overwhelming, especially some of these fruits have been part of your daily routine for years. I get Edie was in the same boat for most of my adult life. I believed I was eating cleany, thought I was doing the right thing, and I never made the connection between what was on my breakfast plate and what was quietly disappearing from my life. My energy, my drive, my ability to respond, Aussie used to. But once I saw the pattern, not just in myself, but in patient after patient, the truth became clear. The so-called healthy breakfast fruits were anything but harmless. They were silent, lighting erection quality, day by day sugar hit by sugar hit. Not with loud warning signs, but with small losses, a little less stamina here, a little more frustration there, and eventually the belief that this is just what aging looks like. It's not the good news, it's that you don't have to change everything, govern it. But you do need to starting tomorrow morning. Clear your breakfast of the 7 fruits we've just covered. Replace them with foods that stabilize blood sugar and support blood flow. Eggs, avocado, berries in moderation. Greek yogurt without added sugar. Drink water first thing, not juice. And most importantly, listen to how your body responds, because you might be surprised by how quickly things begin to change. You might even wake up on morning soon and realize you feel like yourself again. And if you're wondering what foods actually boost erections naturally, don't go anywhere. In the next section, I'll show you the exact fruits that fuel your performance and help restore the kind of strength most men think they've lost forever. If you are still dealing with getting hard erections, there's a powerful natural solution that's been helping men all over the world. Check out the link in the description for a doctor-recommended erectile dysfunction remedy that might be just what you need. So let's bring it all together. If you've made it this far, I want to thank you for listening, for staying curious, and most of all, for caring enough about your health talk question. What you've always been told, because the truth is the 7 fruits we've discussed today: bananas, grapes, orange juice, watermelon, mango, pineapple, and dried fruit. They don't come with warning labels. They look innocent. They're even marketed as health foods. But when you're a man over 60, your body doesn't handle sugar as it used to. What might seem like a harmless breakfast choice can quietly chip away at your hormones, your blood flow, and your ability to feel like yourself in the bedroom. I've seen it happen time and time again, not just in my patients, but in my own life. And I've also seen how quickly things can turn around when you'll make small, consistent changes. This isn't about fear, it's about empowerment. You're not broken, you're not too old. You raised operating on the wrong information, but now you know better. And that puts you in control. So tomorrow morning, make a different choice. Say no to cigar-laden fruits. Choose real nourishment. Instead, your energy will rise, your focus will return. And your tins, they'll follow, maybe not overnight, but sooner than you think. And remember, this is just one piece of the puzzle. There are also fruits included that can actively improve blood flow, boost testosterone, and reignite the spark you thought was fading. I'll be sharing those with you next, because your health, your vitality, and your manhood are worth fighting for. Let's rebuild Etone morning at a time.